What's up everyone, Jose G here with SK Wrestling, bringing you a special NXT TakeOver WarGames recap. It was an exciting and breathtaking atmosphere in the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida, where we saw the last NXT TakeOver for 2020. We had 5 amazing matches that went down last night, so let's get right into it. To kick off NXT TakeOver WarGames, we had the Women's WarGames match with Team Candice with Dakota Kai, Toni Storm, Raquel Gonzalez, and Candice LeRae versus Team Shotzi with Ember Moon, Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, and Shotzi Blackheart. Shotzi killed her entrance, showing off an upgraded tank, and the entire team showing unity by climbing and posing on the tank. WarGames starts off with Ember Moon versus Dakota Kai, then followed by Shotzi Blackheart and Raquel Gonzalez. Gonzalez dominated, taking out Moon and Shotzi Blackheart until it was Rhea Ripley's turn to hit the ring. Once she made her way into the ring, she faced off against her nemesis Raquel Gonzalez, where the two exchanged blows and throws, with Rhea getting the better of the exchange until Toni Storm made her way into the structure. Toni Storm continued helping her team dismantle Team Shotzi by punishing them with kendo sticks and various other weapons. After a huge spot with all 6 women coming off the top rope, it was the NXT Women's Champion Io Shirai's turn to get in on the war and brings in a ladder, but Raquel and Toni have been guarding the door to keep Io out. Soon after being successful at keeping Io out of the match, the Poison Pixie Candice LeRae makes her way to the match. Indy Hartwell attacks Io with a steel chain, taking out the NXT champion. Soon Team Candice had the advantage for a while. The WarGames match finally begins when Io Shirai makes her way into the WarGames cage by jumping from the top of the cage with a garbage can over her, taking out all 7 women. Now whoever gets the first pin or submission wins the WarGames match. We had multiple submission attempts by Blackheart and LeRae. Dakota Kai delivered a huge double stomp to Shirai, crushing her inside the can. Meanwhile, Ember Moon hits a beautiful eclipse to Dakota Kai on a steel chair. As Io Shirai delivered multiple moonsaults attempting to gain a pinfall, Raquel Gonzalez at the last moment catches her on the cage and puts down the NXT champion with a huge choke slam through the ladder, with Raquel Gonzalez getting the pin on the NXT champion, securing the win for Team Candice. Next up, we have Timothy Thatcher versus Tommaso Ciampa in a singles match. Thatcher has been a breakout star in the latter part of 2020 and put Ciampa out during his last segment on NXT. The match started out by Thatcher dominating early by targeting body parts and hitting stiff European uppercuts, but Ciampa had no quit in his fight as he continued to take punishment from the catch wrestler. Ciampa was able to find an opening by countering Thatcher by putting him on his back. Ciampa then gets fired up by hitting multiple clotheslines and delivering a colossal superplex from the top rope. The two continue this physical and hard-hitting match, with Ciampa nailing some huge knees to the head of Thatcher, busting his ear open. Thatcher kept showing resilience by taking and dishing out punishment, but was caught on the top rope, where Ciampa hit chop after chop and eventually followed it up by hitting up the Widow's Bell and getting the 3 count to win this hard-hitting affair. Next up was the first ever strap match in NXT between Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis. Grimes got the advantage earlier on catching Lumis off guard prior to the match to gain some momentum, but Lumis was able to get the leather strap on his wrist to officially begin the match. As Cameron Grimes and Dexter Lumis punish each other back and forth, with Grimes trying to exorcise his demons with Lumis, but it wasn't enough as Dexter Lumis sinks in the silent submission move to force Grimes to tap out, giving Dexter Lumis a major W at a TakeOver. Next up is the triple threat match for the North American Championship between Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, and Leon Ruff. This was a high energy match with both Gargano and Ruff taking out Priest early. Gargano and Ruff continued exchanging blows until Priest made his way back into the ring, this time focusing solely on Gargano. Ruff tries to get involved in the mix, but Priest continues to get him out of the way until he had enough and delivered a razor's edge through the barricade, taking out Ruff. At this point, Priest and Gargano continue the battle inside the ring, with both men hitting each other with everything they have, and moments later, Ruff comes out of nowhere to get back in the match. Leon and Johnny have their moment and put on a very entertaining exchange. Then, several men with ghost faces come out of nowhere to assist Johnny Gargano, but Priest was able to take all of them out by taking the fight to them by diving out to them from the ring. After what looked like almost a secure victory for Damian Priest, Priest gets hit from behind with a steel pipe from one of the Ghostface men, as Gargano was able to hit one final beat on Ruff to become the 3-time NXT North American Champion. After the match was over, the man under the ghost face revealed is to be Austin Theory, who has been off TV for the last 2 to 3 months. Finally, the men's WarGames match between the Kings of NXT, Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch versus the Undisputed Era, Roderick Strong, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Adam Cole, baby. WarGames started off with Kyle O'Reilly going up against the bruiserweight Pete Dunne. This was a grappling clinic between both of these guys, showing off their jiu-jitsu. Dunne then started wearing down O'Reilly with his joint manipulation. Oney Lorcan then made his way into the cage, giving McAfee's team the advantage for 3 minutes. Bobby Fish then comes in to help O'Reilly buy some time, evening the odds for a short amount of time. Danny Burch also makes his entrance to WarGames, bringing some cricket bats to inflict more punishment on the Undisputed Era. Pat McAfee makes his way into the match, bringing tables marked with the names of the members of the UE. Then Pat McAfee puts Roderick Strong through the table with a moonsault. Then the match finally starts when Adam Cole makes his entrance, shooting off a fire extinguisher to the Kings of NXT. Chaos erupts inside the cage as all 8 men go at it in an all-out war between both teams. McAfee did a huge swanton bomb from the top of the cage, taking out everyone. However, the Undisputed Era was a better synced team, with Cole hitting the Panama Sunrise and each member of the UE hitting their finishers, and O'Reilly winning the WarGames match with a flying knee to Oney Lorcan's face. Thanks for watching this video. Follow us on all of our social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date news stories in the world of wrestling.